Hi, hello, welcome to Spell Day. We're covering a spell every single day of the year from the 5e BHB +3. Those +3 spells are homebrew spells. We're at +2 at the moment. You can head back and playlist to find them. And today's spell is Spirit Guardians.
I am a reasonable, sane human being.
44 Magnum.
Third level Conjuration, casting time for 1 action, range of self, 15-foot radius, components, verbal somatic material, a holy symbol, duration concentration up to 10 minutes. You call forth spirits to protect you. They flit around you to a distance of 15 feet for the duration. If you are good or neutral, their spectral form appears angelic or fey, your choice. If you are evil, they appear fiendish. When you cast this spell, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. You must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage if you are good or neutral, or 3d8 necrotic damage if you are evil. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, damage increases by 1d8 for each slot above 3rd. Okay, it's time to talk about Spirit Guardians. It lasts way longer than I thought. I mean, 10 minutes? Yes, it's concentration, but if you can get an enemy to be stuck next to you for all those 10 minutes, that's it. That's 3d8 or half of 3d8 every round for 100 rounds. That's 300 d8. That's a lot of damage. Because when it came to a lot of area spells, it was the issue of you couldn't really control where it was going, or it wandered automatically to a low place, or it moved 10 feet, or it was just static. This is bound to you. It's a 15-foot radius around you after you cast it. You can walk around, and you can follow this. If you have a higher speed than the enemy, oh no. The only chance they have is to try and break your concentration. And likely when you're casting this, it's not just you that's the problem. But even then, it's not even a single target thing. You could be affecting multiple people with this at the same time. It's an aura. 15-foot radius. That is a 30-foot circle. That's just no enemies. Well, not no enemies, but repercussions for enemies. Interesting that the neutral's fey. I think I get it. Like, just from the whole good, it's, yeah, about that. So there's been some effects, and namely some magic items in particular, that have a direct impact depending upon whatever your alignment is. As in, they have different effects, or they can target you or don't target you. I think this is the only spell we've covered. I mean, there's other forms of detection and such, but this specifically changes the damage type depending on what the character casting is, alignment-wise. It's only here, at least that I've seen. But man, that would leave cool implications. Outside of that, back to the whole death radius. I forgot, I don't have many clerics in my games. I forgot this was difficult terrain. A traveling difficult terrain around you. So even if you had faster speed than the enemy, if you're chasing them down, they're eating through half of their twice as much movement to just get past 15 feet from you. The average 30-foot movement speed? Oh, congrats. You've made it just outside. Ah, too bad. You're back in again instantly. 3rd level? Like, honestly, yeah, I can see 3rd level. If anything, 3rd level might be a bit good for this. Like, 4th level, I could still see being an argument for, like, yeah, it should sit there. 3rd level's not bad. It's not. Comparing it to Fireball, which, yes, not everything should be compared to Fireball, but it's the best shorthand. So many people know Fireball, and Fireball's been cast as just the damage spell. So if we're comparing this one damage-wise and radius-wise, if you can hold people down, which the spell actively helps you with difficult terrain that travels with you and its own radius, have some other buff spell on you, or defense effects, or have other players targeting them, or corner an enemy. You don't even have to necessarily, like, you could cast this through a cage. You could cast this from the top of a hole, or in an air vent, or duct. Those are very specific things, but I'm saying you don't have to be right next to the target, or an immediate eye shot of them. Line of sight, that is. Upcast, alright. It's alright. I mean, it's ridiculous if you, again, have an enemy locked down, and it'll just kill them faster. Because one level immediately, if you can do this for the full 10 minutes, one level immediately bumps this up to 400 d8. Another level 500 d8. the times multiplier is what gets this. Because that's the thing. There are so many other spells we've covered where the actual damage over time doesn't get buffed with increasing its level, just the initial damage. This is every tick. Every tick. 8 out of 10. 7. 8. I'm thinking 8 because of the out of eyesight thing, and someone brought up meld into stone. You can still be concentrating on this while being out of the space, or other forms of defense. You could cheese it, in short. And it's just not bad. Like, I've... In the games that I did have clerics, which were a while ago, I mean, this was almost an always go-to, at least in the early levels. It's just good. 8 out of 10. We'll stick with 8 out of 10. Just the... 8 out of 10.